Beautiful, aren't they? These two elegant tapering forms, a bit like cypress trees against a hillside. But their purpose was not necessarily particularly beautiful. They're both weapons. We have a dagger head and we have a spear blade. And they both come from Europe. This comes from mainland Europe and this comes from Great Britain. And we know this comes from Great Britain because it was found in Milton Keynes in 2020. This one comes from Eastern Europe and it's slightly older than this particular piece. This is about 1600 BC and this is 300 or 400 years later. So it's about 1200 BC. And originally they would have been absolutely necessary for a life and death scenario. If one looks at the side of these edges and they're still sharp, they could still cut one. They're slightly notched, most particularly on the top of the spearhead, which suggests that they were used, and this is even slightly bent. But for me, it's their aesthetic beauty that most appeals. Not only the shape is very elegant, but also the colouring, the surface, the patina is particularly beautiful on both of these. Upon the surface of this spear, there are bluish incrustations called azurites, and this is the result of burial affecting the copper that is formed part of this bronze, this copper alloy. The similar bluish hue that one can see thinly across the whole of this surface is again due to the composition of the bronze, and it's marvellously incised. And the other fascinating aspect of this spearhead is inside there is just the trace of wood which would have been part of the original shaft. It's not often you find that because wood tends to rot in our climate. These were made by casting the bronze and then beating it to shape, which is how they were able to get this very sharp edge on these, on both of them. And lovely though they are, we have to remember that they were there for killing. Maybe that is something which other people might think is not beautiful, but there is a certain beauty about that, the elemental aspect of it. I think it was Keats who said, truth is beauty, beauty truth, and there can be nothing more truthful than trying to fight for your life. And this very elegant form was a visual prompt to artists. I can see the work of William Turnbull, a British artist of the 1960s. These wonderful tapering, elegant forms and the same greenish patina to his bronze sculptures. They very much appeal to our modern eye. We're used to this simplicity of form, where all extraneous decoration is pared away to give this almost minimalist sense of form. For me, what makes these two objects stand out, which transcends their purpose, is their form, beautiful shapes, and the most delectable colouring. Be hard-pressed to find better.